Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are on segment 2, our media segment, and this week we did not do movie night.
We didn't. It was too busy.
It was, but I have a movie for sneak preview. The movie I have planned for us to watch is Spaceballs.
Yes. Comedy.
Well, I mean, I figured after a horror movie, comedy is probably the next step, especially since it parodied the movie that we watched.
We're doing it. We're doing odds and evens with comedy and horror at the moment.
Yeah, I know. There hasn't been really a middle ground. I have some ideas for a movie night, but we can talk about that off air. You have a topic to start us.
I do. Something that made me giggle a bit this week. I was going to Steam to play some Rainbow Six Siege.
For the people who don't understand that joke, this is
yes.
my stupid tendency to take the name of a game and slightly change it to make it sound stupid. Rainbow Six Siege is a video game that I have often referred to as Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
And I got onto the Steam store, was about to boot up, and then I saw this cracker of a notification from Rainbow Six Siege.
A white person?
What?
A cracker? A white person? Sorry, it was a stupid joke. Go on.
Yes, it is. They have released the Rainbow Six Siege Code of Conduct.
Yeah.
Code of Conduct.
But they're just gonna ban their whole player base.
Well, it's not just like this is bad behavior. In the Code of Conduct, they have illegal behavior.
Oh, wow.
And they're setting down the laws.
The Ubisoft police are gonna come out.
Safety first. The safety of our players, partners, employees is our highest priority. Ubisoft does not tolerate threats, harassment, discrimination, endangerment, doxing, stalking, illegal stuff.
Okay, so they're basically just gonna ban everyone that plays a shooter on the internet.
Well,
like, all of those things were just a normal part of a Halo 2 game when I was growing
threats,
up.
definitely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The do's and the don'ts. There are 2 do's, and they are, 1, educate yourself and respect local laws. Alright, local laws. What the fuck does the local law in your area have to do with playing Rainbow Six Siege?
You know what? I am going to call the Massachusetts Attorney General, and I'm going to ask her, what do your laws say about playing shooter games on the internet?
Right, you need to educate yourself, Kaiser, with that shit. That's right. And respect the laws. And the second do is report any illegal or suspicious activity that you see. How much illegal activity do you see?
The next time I see you playing Rook and snorting cocaine on one of the maps, then I'm going to report you then and there.
Yeah. We're playing as like... Oh my god. How do you see illegal activity on a game? How do you do that?
You don't. I mean, we're shooting each other in the face. That's illegal activity?
Right?
I'd like to report a murder. I saw it on a video game.
He shot the hostage.
That's so fucking stupid.
Fuse put like an explosive charge on the room with the hostage in it. That's illegal, right? Jesus
I mean, sometimes
Christ.
I shoot you in the back just because it's funny. Like, is that illegal?
Now the don'ts. The don'ts. Do not.
I feel like this list is going to be longer.
It's only 3 things.
Oh, well, slightly longer.
Engage in or encourage any form of illegal activity. Again, how can you help someone do something illegally?
I don't know if you knew this, but fucking Al Qaeda is using Rainbow Six Siege to coordinate.
Don't put anyone in danger or make them feel unsafe. How are you gonna make someone? It's a game. You can't put anyone in danger because it's a game.
Maybe people who have problems distinguishing reality from games.
Okay.
There are people who like legitimately think Voldemort is real. So
people with mental health disabilities aside. Like, because that's the only... I can imagine if someone's having a really shitty day and they ended up being like, oh, I want to do a forever sleep, then...
Yeah, thank you for that YouTube safe description.
Yeah. Then, okay, I get how you don't want to put someone in danger in that way, but...
Yeah, no,
there's not much you can do. Just don't be a jackass.
I mean, it's a shooter game on the internet. People are gonna be jackasses, but don't be cruel. I think that's what it comes down to. But even being cruel, that's not illegal.
Yeah.
Like I guess if someone like came online and they said that they were going to like, you know, harm themselves in some way, and they sounded serious, and everyone in the chat was all going along and going like, hey, yeah, fucking do it, go for it. Okay. I mean, but to be fair, that's how I'd expect the internet to react. That's how people would have reacted on Halo 2. Back when I was on Xbox Live. And it's
not good, but you can't really stop it.
Yeah, you can't stop people from being assholes. Like, I mean, you can stop people from being assholes in one way. Through, like, kind of social shame. Basically, like, oh, come on, man. Don't be like that.
But, and that's normally how these things play out. If someone goes across the line, generally the whole team knows it, and they're like, either kick them or tell them off.
There was a I remember. So I'm gonna tell a little anecdote. So this is from Halo 2. Back, because I'm referencing that because that was like peak internet. You can say whatever the fuck you want. So this was like 2006 or so, probably. So I'm playing Halo 2. And in the game, it was a 4-person game. I was playing with one of my friends, and then there was this other, there was this little kid and this other rando, and the little kid like was doing bad, and the other guy was making fun of him. He started literally crying into the mic.
Yeah.
And the other guy was just making fun of him more and more, just like, oh, you cry, you little bitch, you suck at this game. So we didn't. My friend and I started team killing this guy, the guy who was doing it to the little kid. So every time he would respawn, we'd find him, blow him up, shoot him in the head, do whatever, and then just teabag his body. Because, I mean, he went over the line. But that's how you handle it. You don't throw down, like, these edicts from above. You have to have, like, a healthy community, a healthy player base. Anyway, sorry, just a little tangent. So what's the third don't?
The third don't, and this is what I think the whole thing is actually technically about. Do not pretend to be another player or a Ubisoft employee. I think this is what the whole fucking thing was about. I think someone has been going around saying, I'm a Ubisoft employee, I can get you banned, kind of thing.
Alright, third time's the charm. This was the big thing on Xbox Live, is people like, I'm gonna get you banned, my uncle works for Microsoft.
Yeah. So much bollocks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, then it goes through toxic behavior, cheating and unfair advantages.
I mean, cheating, yeah, ban people for that. Toxic behavior, I mean, again, you're playing a competitive game on the internet. Toxic behavior is a given.
Yeah, and then it comes to investigation and sanctions. Sanctions can include, but are not limited to, restricted access to certain services, suspensions, and bans at game or at account level. You need to hold yourself accountable. Yeah, normal stuff. There's not particularly strong sanctions. Just if you're too much of an asshole, we'll just take away your account and you can't play the game. And then you'll just make a different account and keep playing the game.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what is it? CS:GO took that kind of stance against people, and they took a really hard stance against cheaters, and people still cheat. They just cheat, and then they make a new account, and then they cheat again. They don't give a fuck.
And the final section, which is a very small section, it's got. I think it's meant to be reassuring, but it comes across kind of creepy. It says, moderation, we're looking out for you. And I read that as, we're looking for you.
Yeah, that is...
You're responsible for all actions and any comments you make in-game, on our forums, or within our other Ubisoft services. To protect our community's representatives and partners, we may remove any and all content published by you that is in breach of this code of conduct or our terms of use.
Part of me likes to think that when they made that post on their forums, the whole, like, responses to it were just nothing but people telling them to fuck off.
Well, there are 459 comments.
Oh? Let me... How accurate was I? Like, what do we have?
So, a lot of them are one-word answers.
Are those not nice words?
Someone went with the good old first.
Oh my god.
A lot of people saying basically don't cheat, please.
That's they could have just said that, but they're going with like this.
Lol, Ubisoft bad.
They're just going with this like Gestapo shit. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I won't belabor the point too much. I think I made my point clear while you were reading it.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
I've said this in the past, and I think this was summarized really well in a Donkey video. Like, he was talking about the first time he logged into Xbox Live, and he got on and he said, "Hey guys, let's do this," and a whole bunch of like people started shouting at him, "Hey, you little baby bitch, shut the fuck up!" And and then he was just like, "This is awesome."
Yeah, I remember. I've actually seen that video.
It's like that was my reaction too. Like, I logged into my first Xbox Live game was Mech Assault, which is a big mech arena fighting game. And I logged in there and I started just talking to people, and it was just non-stop, belligerent trash talk.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was fucking awesome. And I don't know, it just... Maybe I'm getting old, but the internet has become a little bit more policed now, and it's boring.
I think the biggest thing to take away from this post that they put up is that everything that is said on there has either already been in effect since the game has been out, or is so flipping obvious that everyone should know it anyway. So I feel like they're trying to cover up for something that they've done bad. And now this is like, we need to put out something saying that we are actually good guys.
Yeah. I can see that. It's a very political statement.
Yeah, now I'm wondering what they've done wrong. That's what I take from that.
Yeah, it's a very, very corporate, very political statement. Alright. Well, so moving on from that.
Yep.
To follow up from last week, I've been watching more of The Expanse. So much more of The Expanse. I think when we did last week's podcast, I had seen just Season 1 and a little bit of Season 2. Since then, I've watched all of Season 2, all of Season 3, and I'm on the last episode of Season 4. I cannot stop watching this show.
Yeah, this is why I haven't seen you for the whole week.
Yeah, exactly, I haven't been online because the moment I finish work, I'm like, I'm going to watch more Expanse.
Yeah.
And I think it's just... I thought about this statement for a while, and now I think I'm pretty certain of it. This may be the best sci-fi show I've ever seen.
Oof.
Like, my favorite sci-fi show that I've ever seen. I should say that. There's other sci-fi shows that have done certain things better, like better sci-fi, better...
Are there aliens in it?
They're to an extent. But they, again, just like everything else with the sci-fi in the series, they take it in a realistic direction.
Okay,
so
they're not cheesy aliens.
They're not cheesy aliens. They really feel alien. Because a lot of other series will be like, oh, all these aliens they're very similar to humans in some way, or they think similar to humans, and humans are able to communicate with them.
Generally.
Not only that, but even like even if they don't look human at all, they still are able to interact with humans on like our terms. It's very different in this show. So the realistic sci-fi, especially the physics in the show, are really, really well represented. Like how they have to deal with inertia, how ships would actually have to travel through the solar system. It's all just very, very well handled. Like the effects of inertia on the human body, like when people are accelerating or decelerating rapidly.
Yeah.
All very, very well done. One thing I will say, and this is something that it's been a while since I ragged on Amazon, so I'm going to right now. For whatever reason, the subtitles, by default, are on and in Danish. Like,
Yeah. Are you sure it's not like a VPN or something?
no. It's not. I don't have a VPN. So
Oh, okay.
I've tried on every platform. I've watched it. So in my bedroom, I got a PS4. I got an Xbone in the living room, and I've also watched it on my phone.
Yeah.
On all of them, and it's not the spoken subtitles. It's whenever there's a written word on the screen. Like, I like it'll be like here's it'll say like Saturn 5 days later, and then at the bottom of the screen it'll have Saturn 5 days later in Danish.
Right. I assume you can turn that off though, right?
So what I have to do every episode, and if I forget, it turns itself back on again. Every single episode, I have to go to the subtitles, turn them on and off, because they're listed as off, but it still does it. But if I turn them on and off, then it stops. But then the next episode, they're on by default again, even though they say they're off. So I don't know what Amazon has done, or why it thinks why it thinks I'm in the fucking Netherlands.
You've been buying too many pastries.
Clearly. But that's the one like annoying thing. But the series itself has been absolutely amazing. I love the way they're portraying. The characters are well written. The world is well built. The politics in it are realistic and
I think
like
you mean the universe, not the world.
That's okay. Fine, fair point. But the politics in it make a whole lot of sense. Like, it seems like I don't know if they got like a number of, because it's based on a book series, so I'm wondering if either the guy who wrote the books had a lot of knowledge about politics and physics and writing, or if he talked to people who did. But the politics are very believable. The physics are very realistic. The characters are extremely well developed. And the show doesn't fall into a trap that I see so many shows fall into now. And I'm thinking of one scene I saw last night in Season 4. There's an interaction between what's essentially the head of the Earth government and her husband. Right? First of all, she is one of my favorite characters in the entire series. She was a voice actor in Mass Effect, actually. That's where I know her from. But this is the first time
which Mass Effect?
Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Oh, thank God. You didn't say Andromeda.
No, not Andromeda. She played one of the minor characters that were part of the Quarians. She was an admiral. The people with the suits on. The people
the like alien looking ones.
Well, they couldn't take their breather suits off because they would they had lived on ships their whole life and whatnot.
I can't remember that.
All right, I'll show you after the podcast. But
okay.
She was a voice actor in that, a fairly minor character, but still great performance. So I recognized she has a very distinct voice, so I recognized her right off the bat. It's the first time I've seen her in a movie, and she is one of the most awesome characters in this entire show. She is both ruthless and clever and just a very interesting character to watch. She has this interaction with her husband during a political race that she's involved in now, because she's having to deal with re-election at the same time as Earth and Mars have just gone out of war, but now there's a new political faction that's putting a lot of pressure on Earth. There's terrorist attacks and stuff, and they've got this new expansion outside the solar system to deal with. It's it's there's a lot of tension going on, and she's got to deal with this at the same time. And she makes a political move that her husband doesn't necessarily like, because he thinks it's very callous and uncaring and cruel.
Sounds like drama. Go on.
It is drama, but the thing is, a lot of shows fall into the trap of taking a side. This show doesn't do that. In some cases it does, but this show doesn't really do that. Like, it portrays the scene neutrally. She makes her points, he makes his points, and it's left up to the audience to look at the wider picture and figure out who you think is right.
Okay.
And it does that with a lot of different scenes and a lot of different characters where they're portrayed neutrally. They have these conflicts and they have these interactions where you get to know the characters better, and sometimes they do very morally questionable things, and it's kind of left up to you as the audience to go, well, were they right to do that? And sometimes I found myself agreeing and disagreeing with characters that I like and dislike throughout the whole series, and it's a very engaging mode of storytelling. And I don't know who was the writer for this show, like who the writers for this show were, but they need a fucking award, because we need more TV shows like this. Because especially after some of the brain dead like TV that I've seen coming out in more modern times in recent years, this is just brilliant, and I cannot talk it up enough.
Well, I mean, okay, you mentioned it kind of, it's still going at a sterling pace.
I mean,
I was just going to say that the Sons of Anarchy has kind of dropped off for me a bit.
that's the thing that surprised me. Is normally, like, they're shows that I've binged, and Vikings was one of them. Vikings kind of slowed down for me around the beginning of season 4, and that's where I stalled out on it. I'm going to pick it back up again once I finish this series, but that's what happened. Was like I was blowing through it and I was loving it, and then it kind of petered out a little bit.
Yeah, the issue I've had recently is that I kind of go to Netflix for two reasons. Either I'm bored and I want something to like just mindlessly watch for a bit,
Yeah.
or I want cheering up kind of thing, right? And I don't know why I thought Sons of Anarchy would cheer me up, but I was on there like literally. I went on there at one point thinking, yeah, some Netflix will cheer me up, and the first things that came out of the show's mouth was like, death, sorrow, decay. And I was like, oh fuck, what am I doing?
I mean,
that was the first words of an episode.
You're talking to the wrong person here. I mean, I'm a person that I'm cheered up by tragedy. Like, I like watching like really depressing movies when I'm sad. It cheers me up.
And I like a little bit of that as well, but after I'm on the 6th season now, out of 7.
Oh god.
And the issues that keep coming up, they're becoming more and more far-fetched why they would be an issue. Like, the current problem, this is spoilers, whatever, is that one of the characters who are associated with the motorcycle club stabs a nurse to death. And then suddenly the older brother of that nurse happens to be an ex-detective who's super badass and messed up, and so he's like the whole season's villain is there just because one person got stabbed, but
it gets to the point where
every episode, like 3 people get killed at some point.
It gets to the point where the plot is based on convenience and contrivance rather than anything that actually makes sense.
Exactly. Like, some of the problems that they have are like ridiculously impossible to get out of, and I'm like, there's no way that you could get through that, but they do. on the other hand, their ability to get out of situations, like when everything's said and done, they could just fuck off out of there like they'd always planned to, but they never do.
So I'm gonna quote the critical drinker here, the YouTuber. He has one phrase that I just I love for exactly that circumstance is the plot needs the script. Oh no, the script needs the plot to happen.
Yeah.
And that sounds that basically they thought of what the plot was going to be before they figured out how the hell it could possibly happen.
But I'm told that season 7 is actually the end of Sons of Anarchy. So I'm actually kind of intrigued as to what happens.
Yeah.
Also, the biggest fucking asshole in the whole series. This is my own fault in some way. I kind of spoiled it for myself, I think.
Yeah.
The ex-leader of the club, who's a total dickwad, and he screws over everyone constantly. In Payday 2, he's a character, which means he's still alive at the end of the fucking series. So even though I want him to die so badly, and every time it looks like he's about to die, I'm like, but he can't die, and then he doesn't die, and it pisses me off every time.
There is
yeah.
That's an interesting kind of dynamic. There's a few shows and movies that I've watched where ostensibly the protagonist of the show is just so unlikable that I think by the end of the movie I'm just like, oh, come on, why has no one killed this fucker yet?
Yeah.
And they get out and I remember so it was there's a few different situations where this happened. One was in one of the first ones was an anime. And Yi has gotten on my case about this because he actually kind of liked it. Gundam 00. The Mobile Suit Gundam series are like kind of a for reference, it's a Japanese animation where essentially in the future giant mechanical suits are made. So we're talking like 2-story building size. They have a pilot inside of it, and they're humanoid, and they use them to fight. It's essentially like a giant walking tank. A series called Gundam 00, and the quote-unquote protagonists of the show I found so utterly unlikable that I was just hoping for them to die the entire series.
In Gundam, they quite often do, though, don't they?
It depends. They did die at the end of the series. Spoiler alert. And I was so happy. That was the good ending. And they made a follow-up series, and I didn't even want to watch it. Because I'm like, nope, that was the end of the series. They died. I'm happy. Yay. I just... It was not... The thing is, they've followed a similar model with other Gundam animations, where they've had protagonists that were kind of anti-heroes. But they were well written enough to actually make them fun and interesting to watch, and you could still kind of root for them even though they weren't really good people. This was not like that. These were just... If you gave an angsty teenager who listened to too much My Chemical Romance power, that's what these guys were like.
Right.
Maybe that's a dated reference too.
No. It's my brother had My Chemical Romance CDs.
Yeah, I know. But it just a little tangent there. I think that's equally a failure of writing. When your protagonist is so unlikable that your audience wants you to like kill him off and you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. I've been that way with quite a few animes. Shall I quickly bring us on to our the final part I had?
Yeah. We're just about to hit 30 minutes, so you've got some time. Let's go.
Okay. So, I've been starved for games. Actually, I haven't been starved for games. I've been restless for games. And so I've gone back and done a bit of Overwatch. You've probably noticed.
If I had the hard drive space, I've actually been thinking about playing that again too.
Yeah, well, is that because Nova's in the game now?
No, that's not Nova.
Thick Nova.
Yeah, thick Nova.
And I quite like the arcade games that they do in there. What I don't like is the people on Overwatch. And I know you can say that about a lot of competitive online games,
I
but
there. I gotta
Go
tell
on.
a story quickly, and this may be a preface to what you're doing. Again, I'm gonna reference a Donkey video.
Okay.
His review of E3. He closed out Overwatch 2. When he was talking about Overwatch 2 in his little review of E3, he's like, Overwatch 2 is coming out. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to get yelled at again.
Yeah. Like it's a children's game. Like it's on the same level of as Fortnite, where it's cartoony, there's no like viscera.
I'd say it's a teen and tween game.
Yeah.
So we're talking like maybe probably their target player base is somewhere between the ages of 10 and 23.
It's violent without being graphic.
Yeah, there you go.
And so I jumped into a game and I got so angry because I'm about to send you a few images, guys, because I took screenshots at the time because like I was so mad. This was the first team that I was on. Now, an Overwatch team normally the ideal scope is 2 healers, 2 tanks, and 2 assassins. What I've just sent Kaiser
That's
is basically
5 assassins.
Well, actually, one of them is technically a healer, but that healer also has a grenade launcher, so I don't really consider them a healer. And then I cut off myself on that. I was playing as a tank, so I think I really like tanks in games at the moment.
Tanks are that's my particular role, especially when I'm playing like MOBAs.
What's
Tanks are
worse
bruisers.
is that we won that round. And it was not because of the Widowmaker. It was not because of any of the other jackasses. It was because the enemy team did the exact same thing, but I was a tank. So they couldn't kill me, and then the rest of my team just pile-drived the shit out of them. Just because we had an equal level of damage, but we actually had a single modicum of health. Which they did not. The next thing, which really got on my goat, you know how I told you, Kaiser, how when you're going into these games on ranked, you can do what's called a flex role select, where the game will give you a ticket which allows you to play any game mode you want and get into a game faster. But for the game that you're currently playing, you have to take whatever the
whatever the
needs.
team doesn't have. And I honestly, once you describe that to me, I think that's
It's a very good idea.
It's a very good idea because it organically encourages people to take less popular roles.
Yeah. Now look at that picture I just sent you, and look at the time under the assassin class. So for everyone else out there,
What the
to get into
fuck?
a normal game of ranked on Overwatch without a ticket or anything, it takes 19 minutes. That's about the size of an entire goddamn game just to get into a game.
I think what's more important is the other 2 roles, the ones that aren't that assassin class, the tank or the healer.
Yep.
They're 2 minutes or 4 minutes, respectively.
Yes. And the priority pass ticket that you get, which basically allows you to skip the queue, is 14 minutes. So yeah, they knock 5 minutes off of the wait time, but it's still 14 minutes with a priority pass to get into a game as an assassin.
So this is something I don't think... I think that ranked or like role queue is not a good model for Overwatch. I really don't.
Yeah.
So to give the non gamers listening perspective, Overwatch is a game. It's a role based first person shooter. There are 5 people on a team. There are different classifications of characters. 6. Is there 6?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. There's 6. Whatever. I don't play it. There's tanks. There's healers. There's support classes. There's assassins, as Blue calls them, or basically people who are their whole point is to do DPS, damage per second. Now, originally the way it was set up was you would start a game and then everyone would just choose their characters in it, and you'd kind of negotiate with your team and figure out what your team needed and switch back and forth. Now they force you to queue into a game as what you want to do: damage, support, tank, and then you're stuck playing characters of that type regardless of how the game goes. I don't think that suits Overwatch, because one of the best
there is a version of ranked mode where you can go anything and everyone can go anything.
Okay, that's a lot better then. I'm glad that they added that back in, because they didn't for a long time. That wasn't there. That's why I stopped playing, because one of my favorite things about it was that in ranked, if the situation called for it, you could go like, okay guys, we all need to go tank. Let's just we need to hold them here. And you could switch your entire team to 4 tanks and a shooter and hold the line. Or if you needed to make a desperate push, you could go 5 damage dealers and a support or something like that. And it allowed a level of dynamism that isn't available in the current, in the role queue model.
Yeah. Are you ready for the next thing?
All right. Well, keep in mind, we're already at about 35 minutes.
I'm aware. But this is quite fucking hilarious.
All right, I'm ready.
Next image I'm sending you. And bear in mind, the white connecting bars mean that they're on the same team.
Okay, so it's... Oh my god, so it's 6 people all on the same team.
Not just that. They have 2 level... they have a level 991.
Jesus.
A level 791. That top left one, I didn't even know that was a rank until... I'm assuming... Because that's above gold, so they've gone through all the bronzes, that's 500 levels. Silver, another 500. Gold, another 500.
It's basically somebody who's played it every day since release.
I think this person is level 2099, right? The highest level person on our team was me, level 279. And they're all in a 5-man group. They have 3 people who are just ridiculously high level, and I'm assuming the other 3 are probably Smurfs.
Don't worry, matchmaking is fair.
And we have a level 7 and a level 8.
Again, don't worry, matchmaking is fair, just don't do anything illegal, right?
The matchmaking is garbage. And we have a squad as well of 2. They're a squad of 6.
Oh my god.
What were they thinking?
I wish you guys could see this image, because it is... But I mean, even if you could, it would be, maybe gibberish to the non-gamers out there. But seriously, This is a problem that a lot of games face.
We got fucking our teeth kicked in and they took our lunch money. Jesus Christ, we were never going to win that. That's Grandmasters against poop tier.
Well, to be fair, yeah, it'd be
and I was the leader of the poop tiers.
Honestly, it'd be like if a chess grandmaster walked into a middle school cafeteria and kicked somebody's ass at chess.
That is literally... It made me so mad.
Anyway.
And the final thing, because I know we are... I know I'm
Yeah. Come on, finish up.
I was playing an arcade one, and it was, I think, 3v3s. Actually, it might have been 6v6. And this is what happened after the first round. The first round ended, and this is what the chat looked like.
Left the game, joined the game, left the game, AFK, joined the game, left the game.
That was after the first round. And that's because they have no penalty for leaving games. And they will put another person into the game where that person left. So, the number of times I joined a game in the final round of a game because someone rage quit the game because they knew the team was going to lose, and then I joined the game in their place, I can't do anything because the round's already started. So I have to wait for the fucking defeat thing to come up.
And then you can leave, yeah. blame Call of Duty for that. Call of Duty started it. I have been hating on this since 2009. I hate the model of like multiplayer shooter where you can leave anytime and they'll just put somebody else in, and those people get screwed because those people are now joining a game that is midway through that they had no hand in how shit it got.
Yeah, if they just put in the simple thing where it's like you can't join another game until the first one has ended. Like, sure, you can quit out of the game.
That's
but
what
then you still gotta wait for it to end.
All right, so all the flaws with League of Legends, that's something that they do right. If you leave a game in League of Legends, you can leave it, and you can rage quit, but you cannot join a game until it has finished.
Yeah. I think that's the way it should be, because this has happened so many fucking times to me. I was on the winning team, so obviously those aren't my people leaving the game.
But it's infuriating. Call of Duty, I think it was Modern Warfare 2, or maybe it was Modern Warfare 1, which would have been Call of Duty 4. That was just... They started implementing this in terms of like competitive like console shooters, and I absolutely hated it. Halo had the model that I actually preferred, which was you get locked into a game. If somebody quits, they're gone. You don't get a new player that gets shunted in and fucked.
Yep.
You are there, and the team you have is the team you have. And if you leave, you get a penalty. Like you can't queue for another like 10 minutes or something like that. And I think that's the way to do it, because it encourages people to actually... If you have to leave for a legitimate reason, like, oh god, Grandpa's having a heart attack, leave the game and run off and, do something in real life. But if you're just leaving because you're, a sour loser and you're pissy, fuck yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
But anyway, yes. Sorry, I've droned on for a very long time.
The ending of this segment has become like the gamer corner, but
it has.
I think that's good. We've been talking quite a bit lately about TV shows and movies, so I think we have been neglecting the gamer aspect of ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I just spent the last 20 minutes hating on Overwatch. I do still like Overwatch, and when a game is going well, it's really fun.
I think that's a good point to make. We shit talked on Rainbow Six too and Ubisoft, but we both play that game a lot.
Yeah, we play it so much.
It's a fun game. It's just, but I think it's because we spend so much time playing that we notice the
flaws. Yeah,
exactly, and then want to voice them. It's flaws.
Tough love.
Yeah, exactly. There are flaws on an otherwise fun and enjoyable gaming experience.
Yeah. But anyway. We do hate Twitter. Go on.
Oh yeah, Twitter. Well, I mean, I don't even use Twitter.
Well, I don't either. But actually. Anyway,
you technically use it for the podcast, but that's a necessary evil.
I flick to it every so often I want to see something funny.
Oh my god! All right. Well, this is going to be the end of segment 2 of the TMCJ podcast, our media segment, which has been pretty much our gamer segment this week, with a little bit of TV intertwined in there. Thank you all for listening, and you'll hear us again momentarily for segment 3.